Ooh.
Ba-ba-da-bum-bum.
Hey, hi. Welcome.
The end.
The end.
Bye. See you next time.
Anyone would think it's Friday and you're dealing with a slightly more tired cast than usual. But hey, welcome to Radiant Shadows. We're a little 5e actual play D&D campaign. We're one Kiwi, DMs for a group of really awesome Australians. And we just hope that the wheels don't fall off. My name's Ham. I run this thing. I made the world. I do the terrible things to the people. And I hope everyone has fun. And now the players are going to introduce themselves, and I'm going to let you guys pick who's going to go first. Kay spoke, so obviously Cass wants to go.
Hi. I'm Cass, or SazTheMeeple. And I play Miera, the sweetest little halfling.
Woo!
That's me.
Outstanding. John.
I'm John the Dragon. I play Tiernan, the Shard Folk Artificer.
Woo! Hey, you're getting better at that.
Yes, I am. I'm actually thinking that. It just shows how more alert I am. But I will make a quick mention that Saz has asked me to let everyone know. We are currently doing Fallout for a good cause. We've joined the Game on Cancer hashtag superhero streamers campaign to raise funds for groundbreaking cancer research. Join us all through the month of May for heaps of Fallout content, including It Fell Out Back, our Australian-themed Fallout RPG channel campaign, Fallout 4, and Fallout 76. Check out our Tiltify campaign.
That was so natural.
Totally not reading off the script.
That was so natural. That was amazing.
I probably should have reread it before I said it, though.
You did great.
It's in the chat if you want to reread anything.
And see how badly I actually
Game on Cancer.
Wow. Hey, Kate, how are you?
Oh, yeah? Hi, I'm Kate. I play Rowan, the genie warlock halfling. There we go. That's words. And I'm really hoping that my character sheet doesn't break time. Well, you know, if you hadn't worked that out, then you haven't taken advantage of the fact that you can see our character sheets.
I don't look at the other character sheets.
But yeah, you can find me usually here, sometimes over on Dungeons and Doctorates or on the Mistworld podcasts, respectively, playing either D&D 5e or Tiny Dungeon. And I've got some upcoming cool project-y fun times that I still can't talk about yet because they're not formally announced, which is really frustrating. But that's okay. More listening to Kate talk about nerdy stuff coming soon to this internet space.
Enunciate nerdy a little bit more carefully because that just sounded a little bit slightly... And I'm not sure if that's me because I'm tired. Hey, Promethean, do you want to maybe talk and do stuff before this gets more weird?
Sure, it's also because you're a Kiwi, I think.
Yeah.
It's the needy. That situation. Hi, I'm Promethean. I'm here right now. And I will be playing. I'll be playing Delgrim, the Dwergar Ranger of the party. I will at other times of my life be elsewhere, places such as here, but in a different capacity, and also on the Law Rights channel here on Twitch as well. Sunday, in fact, if all goes well. So feel free to pay attention to that.
Wow. Hey, everyone, like I said, we've had a long week. We've got a few fried people. We've shifted the day because, unfortunately, I'm not available tomorrow. And the consequence of that is that, unfortunately, Heath is not with us today.
He's alive. He's just not.
He's still alive. He's fine. He's perfectly healthy. He's out there. He's doing cool, fun stuff. But unfortunately, Heath wasn't available on the Saturday. So for the rest of the session, I will be Grumpfel. You might find that Grumpfel's a little bit more quiet than usual, but we'll see how that plays out. Do we have any other announcements or anything like that?
Don't think so.
No. Cool. All right. Well, let's dive straight into things with a quick recap from the last session. Where last we left off, our heroes had just defeated the crystalline dragon within the very mind of Esma, with Tiernan's blow being the one to shatter it. But, alas, the fight was not over, and as the giant emerald chamber around them shuddered and cracked, their very own reflections stepped from the walls, jagged, two-dimensional caricatures of themselves, but just as deadly. On the party fought, focusing their attentions on the new threat as well as the strange red mist. But Esma had more tricks up her sleeves, summoning forth the very fears of some of the party, making them quake and shiver in their boots, some even paralyzed with fear. Spells were cast, axes were swung as our heroes were pushed to their very limits. Grumpfel, in a moment of desperation, struck out with his spiritual weapon at the crying woman, resulting in a blast of psychic energy that knocked our swerve-neblin friend off his very feet. But finally, battered and bruised, and with some on the very edge of consciousness, our heroes triumphed. The red mist, swirling and seething hatred, was dispersed with a final blow, causing the entire chamber to shatter once again. The party found themselves stranded on small floating islands of crystal in a dark void. Gingerly they made their way back together, with Delgrim using their magical crossbow to pull two of the floating islands together, making it easier for the group to finally converge on the sobbing, distraught woman curled in a ball. Through her tears she spoke of the loss of her people, those she had sworn to protect, and the deep, heart-rending pain this had caused her. It was then Miera who held forth the shard of Dana, and as it touched the woman, there was a blinding flash. Our heroes found themselves back in the destroyed library, and before them, whole once again, the being now known as Esmerdanna. She thanked our heroes for what they had done in returning her to her true form and making her whole, something she would be eternally grateful for. She offered them anything they wished from the library, whatever treasures they could find that still existed here, as well as a final gift once they'd rested. Taking this time for a brief rest, some of our heroes took the opportunity to ask Esmerdanna questions, both about her existence, as well as probing for further information that may assist them. Rowan struck an agreement with the great being that she would no longer enter her mind uninvited, and instead would ask via Delgrim for permission in the future. A number of curiosities and treasures were discovered, some of great value, others of a more magical nature, before Esmerdanna bestowed upon them each their final gift. A part of herself for each member of the group, imbued with powerful magic. Within the relative safety of the ziggurat, our heroes rested, with most of them drifting off to sleep. But, once again, dark dreams returned to Miera. As they unfolded in the small halfling's mind, Esmerdanna reached out to Delgrim, warning of his friend's impending danger and inviting him into the dream to help his companion. And this is where we will pick up.
Dark dreams, you say? That's literally in the chapter title.
Oh
of
my
the stream
God.
thing. That's exciting. He said the words. Duh, duh, duh. So it wasn't clear to me when we finished in that last session that that was the scenario that Delgrim. So when you say Delgrim's been invited then to join, assail, invade that dream, is that immediately apparent to Delgrim?
Yes, it would be, yeah.
Cool. He'll do so. But he'll do it kind of projecting as calm and ready to leave if there's an indication from Miera to do so as possible, I think.
Have we noticed each other in the darkness?
It's your dream. You tell me.
So, Delgrim, you conscious that you know you're still asleep, This is the weirdest sensation. But you suddenly find yourself in a very large, dark space, and you sense more than anything else Miera. But she does appear to be some distance away. It's very hard to tell. And for you, you are essentially floating in nothingness.
Cool. Delgrim will try and float faster. Miera! Miera, I am in your dream.
Miera, for you, there's nothing. A void, and you are insignificant in its endless expanse of darkness. There's no ground below you, no sky above. But then, as always, there is that presence lurking in the blackness of this void. You've experienced this before, and there is something primal in you, screaming for you to run, to flee as fast as you can, as this thing sees you. Delgrim, when you try and shout out, it's like the voice just won't come out of you. It's like it's the strangest sensation for you. You open your mouth and you can hear a certain amount of noise, but it's like trying to push through molasses. It's like there's something around you that's stopping you. And then you also sense something. Something very foreboding, and something that reminds you that vision you once had a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. I think Delgrim's probably inclined, and especially having recently been spooked in Esmer's mind by that same thing, I think Delgrim's probably inclined to use calm emotions on himself to limit the effect that this presence then is going to have on him.
You invoke that magic, and you can feel it's almost like stepping into a cold shower. Just that sort of jolt and that calmness that then comes around from sort of almost like a slap to the face to bring you out of whatever strong emotion you might be feeling. The presence you can both feel gets closer, but there is still darkness. And Miera, you can feel something probing your mind. The sensation is almost physical, as if something cold and clammy is crawling across your skin, causing the hairs on the back of your neck to stand on end. You've felt this before when you've had these dreams.
Do I feel like, do I know what direction, or is it just directionless? It's like all around.
It's just there's you just know that there is something, but you cannot sense where it is.
I don't know whether it's possible to do it in a dream, but I feel like maybe she would almost send out like a some sort of spell, like a defensive spell, just in any old direction, I guess, just to, you know.
What kind of spell?
Maybe like dissonant whispers, or like a maybe not that, but like a chaos bolt or something like that, just sort of,
You fire off this magic, calling it forth from the very essence of yourself. And you can see it briefly as the arcane energy conjures in your hands and speeds away from your body, but very quickly it vanishes. And then you hear in your mind, Miera. The voice is saccharine sweet. You can almost feel the breath against your cheek, a kiss in this darkness. Miera, the dawn is coming. In front of you, and Delgrim, you would be able to see this too, imperceptibly far away, the nothingness splits. A single line of white light, barely there, but growing slowly, stretching in both directions, seemingly forever. And then, for a moment, there's a shape, unimaginably large in size, outlined by those first rays of light. But then, just as quickly it's gone, like a dream that slips away upon waking, like smoke through your fingers. Delgrim, with that shape, even with all this nothing around you, you could swear that you see something long and serpentine reach forward and gently wind its way around your small friend. Leathery type tentacles slipping around her waist and shoulders in some kind of dark embrace. You blink and they're gone.
Okay. Having a visual perception of Miera at this stage, I'll keep trying to get directly to her, like in some kind of pseudo physical proximity.
She seems to be a very long way away. Like you can see this tiny form of her now silhouetted against the light that is steadily growing stronger. And again, you'll recall the visions that you've had.
Correct.
How are you actually moving? Because there's no ground, there's nothing around you, you're just simply floating.
It will be so when we entered the mind of Esma, one of the things that all but one of us realized was that we weren't actually in that physical space, and that we were able to exist in that reality in a different way. I think Delgrim's probably going to try and draw on that, and he's literally going to try and will himself to Miera's side.
Okay. Can you roll a d20 for me and add your intelligence modifier to it?
Ah, sure. I'm a smart boy. We're going to use the chalk. That's important. Oh, God. That is a 3.
That is a 3. This is different to the environment you were in with Esmerdanna. With Esma. Esma's world felt real. The ground under your feet felt solid.
Okay.
You had to breathe. Everything, you could feel the air against your cheeks. Here, there is nothing. Like disconcertingly so. You're not even sure how you're potentially even alive. You know you're breathing, but you can't feel air. There's no ground. And as you try and will yourself towards Miera, you do begin to move, but not as fast as you would hope. It's like swimming against the current of a river.
Okay.
As you move forward, the light continues to brighten. harsher and harsher until, especially for you, Miera, it's almost burning. The glare is so intense, all you want to do is avert your eyes. And then you hear the words, "Embrace the dawn, Miera."
I would. I'll just take us like if I kind of like throw myself forward.
Okay.
Towards the light or wherever it's coming up from.
Yep. So there is just that long, thin light, like a horizon in front of you. So you're moving towards that.
Yes.
Okay. Delgrim, you're also like, this light is intense, and especially for your sensitive eyes, this is excruciating. What are you doing?
So I think then Delgrim will take his dream version of his little eye fold that he has been wearing down in the cave, or kind of when it's dark he can kind of deal without it now, but it was a gift from a child of a family he spent some time with shortly after he left the Gloomwrought Mountains, and he'll in the dream just kind of place that over his eyes, close his eyes a little bit.
Okay.
And in order to continue trying to get to Miera, he will cast Locate Object.
Ooh. Okay.
And hopefully use that to maintain a sense of Miera's direction and a continual momentum towards.
Let's focus on the
towards her.
sparkle cookies.
I'm more than just an object.
I know. Yeah. I need you both to please make a charisma saving throw for me.
Like, this is the two stats that you've gone after that hate me, but thanks.
You're welcome.
I don't know what that feels like.
Yeah. Wow.
23?
Wow.
Nat 1.
Welcome to my world.
Miera, what did you get?
23.
23. Wow. Yeah. Wow.
I rolled a 17 out of plus 6. So.
Okay. Okay, so Delgrim, you take 12 points. Sorry, numbers 11 points of radiant damage.
Cool.
Mary takes 6 points of radiant damage.
Okay.
The pain, Delgrim, it feels like your eyeballs are going to just explode from this bright, burning, harsh light. Miera, the pain increases to that point where it's almost unbearable, but you remain fixated on that incandescent sun that's in front of you as you push yourself forward. Delgrim, you can see her moving, and she's not really going any faster than you are, but you continue to push against this light, and then suddenly it's gone. There is still a very thin horizon in front of both of you, but the harshness of the light has vanished. Miera, as you watch, a trail of what appears to be stars, twinkling motes of light in this nothing, drift towards you from that bright horizon.
I will reach out towards them to touch them.
Okay. Delgrim, what are you doing?
I've got like one trick left that might work, and it's going to be entirely at your discretion. So, are we attuned yet to Esmerdanna's gift? at this stage?
Sure.
Okay, great. Oh, no, it's in the distance. Is there any indication that Miera currently has a shard from an emerald dragon spinning around her head?
It depends on what she did with it.
Mm.
So, Miera, did you attune to the shard? You didn't? Okay.
No, I didn't because I thought it was something that took time and we haven't really had much time since
Short
getting
rest,
it.
isn't it?
It is. So just to help you here, so you would have got chance to attune to this Miera. So you would have had a choice. You could have attuned to the shard, so you got your +2 to your charisma, or you could have attuned to the other form, which is where every time you use your meta magic, you can then teleport. Which one, logically, do you think Miera would have attuned to?
Probably the one with the teleport, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
no,
that's
and I love that.
entirely fine.
I appreciate that. Okay.
I don't. I hate it.
I'm sorry, buddy.
Nonetheless,
I'm sorry.
we're in a dreamscape, so he's going to hold on to the hilt of the scimitar form of his own and scream out mentally with everything he has. Miera, wake up!
Make a charisma roll for me. This is the force of your personality, the force of your very being.
Wow. 2.
Oh my god, dude, what is up with your dice?
It's had a long day. There's not much force to
Yeah.
any of the alities.
You keep pushing forward towards Miera. You're gaining on her. You're getting closer, and as you scream out, you're not sure if she's hearing you. Miera, you reach out to this trail of stars. And as the first one dances across your skin, its touch is like the hand of your mother as she steadied your first steps as a child. The second mote passes through your hand, and there's just a strange tingle. Again, a sense of familiarity. For the briefest of moments, you think, I hear something else. No, I don't think so.
Miera.
Miera. Again, there's this voice, but this time it's Bex. No, it's Athelas. No, hold on. It's Aloysius. Somehow the voice seems to be all of them at once. The echo of each other, yet also with unknown voices joining in. What you are feeling, Miera, mortals call the arcane. It is the very essence that binds this world together. And you, Miera, are one with it. Just like us, you are intrinsically bound to this universe. More of these motes just play across your skin, passing through you, each one almost evoking a favorite childhood memory. One of them is you and Bex playing games back in Sparkletown, chasing each other around when you were just tiny little halflings. Another one was the interesting conversations that you had with Aloysius. The trust that you felt, the sense of someone who really understood you. there's other voices, there's other senses where you're like, there's people that you've never met before, but you feel like you should know them. You should know who they are. Can I get you to make another charisma saving throw for me, please, Miera? While she's doing that, Delgrim, are you still plowing on ahead? Is there anything else that you wanted to try?
Just the plowing at this point. And I guess if I'm
shut up, you two.
I'm within if I'm within 60 feet at any point in time, that would be a useful thing to know for the only other plan that he might conceivably have.
You're probably about sort of like 90 feet away at this stage.
Sure.
I will, if you would like, you can make another intelligence roll.
That's better.
Use the crossbow.
Don't tempt me.
But don't.
Intelligence will be 14.
14. You're getting more of a sense of this world. And you start to move faster towards Miera. Miera, as these motes play across your skin, you can feel that there's something strange. There's something kind of off about it as you begin to focus on it a little bit more. And as they play across your skin and pass through your very body, you can feel that they're getting the sensation's getting slightly weaker each time. And you can hear that voice say, "What can you feel, Miera?"
I don't know, but I can feel. Where are you? Who am I talking to? How do I embrace the dawn? Where do I go? I don't understand.
Focus on the arcane mirror. Focus on what is passing through you as we are all connected.
I rolled a 20 before, by the way, in case you needed to know.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try. I guess I will try something. Miera will try and think of her first memory of using any sort of magic with Bex, and see if that increases the feeling of those sparks.
You imagine the first time that you actually ever invoked some of this power which resides inside you. And you realize that in many respects, despite the fact that you are now much more competent with this and you're able to do far more significant things, that whatever it is, whatever this arcane that is that flows through you, it's getting weaker. It's like someone's very slowly turning off a tap, and that stream of water is just becoming slower and slower.
I think the feeling of things sort of draining away or becoming slower, I'll try and move closer towards that horizon again. I want to see if I can get to the light.
Okay. So Delgrim, at this stage, you're probably about 70 feet, and you can see now these motes as they play across Miera. And you can see some of them actually passing through her. And you can see as they trail out the other side, they just very slowly fade away. And then she starts moving more towards this light.
Okay. I think at that distance, I think the only thing Delgrim might try and do is establish if he can get any kind of read on the nature of these motes. So what it is that they might be, whether that's from his experience with, weird, crazy stuff from his homeland, whether it's some of the even weirder kind of magic flavored stuff that they've encountered since, just if there's any sense of what these things might actually be.
Can you make a perception check for me, please?
Mm-hmm. Should be better. It's not too much better. It's a 12.
Okay. With your experience with what you've seen before, you focus on the moats, but you realize that where they're coming from, that horizon, that there's still something there. It's hard to tell what it is, but as you focus on it, you can now see that whatever it is lurking on the very edge, it is huge. You can see its form undulate and writhe. And that there are actually long, which were almost imperceptible in parts of this darkness. It's almost like they're almost translucent. These tentacles, which you got a flash of before, have enveloped your friend, almost like the arms of a parent around their child. But there's something about this shape, something fundamentally wrong, which sends shivers down your spine.
Cool. You'll use the adrenaline from that to keep heading towards it, hoping to get at least 10 feet closer at some point in time.
Make another intelligence roll for me.
Mm-hmm. It's another nat 1.
You're struggling. This is such an alien environment for you.
Lady mind.
Oh, dude. Oh my god. So Miera, you hear the voice in your mind again going, the arcane. Can you feel it weakening?
Yes.
You are one of the chosen. One who has a direct connection to it. And we need your help. You must join with us, with others like yourself. You must join the Dawn Dreamers, and with them return that which shines.
Well, where do I find the Dawn Dreamers? Who's us? Who are you?
I am all of us. But travel north to Dalian's Rest and seek Saracen Islway. The fate of the world depends on this, Miera. And he will lead you to the dawn and to the healing of this world. Delgrim, you are like fighting through this space, and you can watch these tentacles wrap more tightly around Miera. It's almost erotic in the embrace of her.
Why I'm having so much trouble getting there quickly. It's distracting.
Damn tentacles again.
Infuriated though, so we'll continue.
At this stage, I'll say you're about 60 feet away.
Magnificent. Would these tentacles qualify as a creature at this point in time, do we think?
Oh, yes.
Excellent. I'm going to cast Hunter's Sense and immediately become aware of whether it has any damage immunities, resistances, or vulnerabilities, and what they are. If it's not hidden from divination magic.
There is an overwhelming sense that you get that whatever this thing is, you've certainly never encountered anything like this before, and the sense is almost overwhelming you. You try and dig through the information that's just assaulting your senses. And suddenly, that horizon that both of you could see vanishes, and you are both in intense darkness. And both of you hear a voice. Imposter. You dare tread where you are unwelcome, unwanted. You taint this very place with your foul unworthiness, lingering like an open sore that will never heal. And you, Miera, the gifts you've been given, you are unworthy of that which shines, and must be exorcised like the grotesque parasite that you are. Rowan, you are sitting quietly, doing what you do when everyone else is asleep.
Yeah.
You would probably notice that Miera and Delgrim are a little bit more maybe shuffly than usual, depending on how observant you are when it comes to watching, how creepy you are about watching your friends sleep.
Yeah. How creepy, like, roll a d10 is Rowan watching everyone
Are
sleep.
you watching us sleep?
Hold on. Roll a d10. Yeah, I don't sleep, Miera. I don't need to.
Read a book.
I mean, functionally, that's what I do. But, you know, sometimes you need a break from eye strain.
Yeah,
sometimes
absolutely.
the light's not bright enough.
Yeah.
5, a middling amount of creepiness.
Okay, so
That's not creepy. Just
that's
saying.
not creepy, but
I
it's
mean,
not.
someone not sleeping is slightly creepy. So, like, that's not creepy, but it's not like.
I mean, she's not bending over breathing in our faces at this point, but there's definitely
that we're aware of.
She's summer camp counselor level of monitoring at this point. Not not
just close enough to check
not-
her breathing.
Not peering through someone's bedroom window kind of creepy.
No.
Okay, so off to the side, there's probably the very low snores of Grumpfel. And you do watch as your two other friends are a little bit more thrashing. Delgrim's sort of kicked one foot out from under the bed, under a sheet. And then you hear them both let out the most soul-shattering screams. I need Delgrim and I need Miera to please make Constitution saving throws for me. Tiernan, you would just get instantly awoken by this absolutely piercing scream from your two friends.
Is there a way, in a sense of immediacy, it's up to you. I probably would not have set myself up far from Delgrim on account of he is my way of Esmerdanna being able to contact me. Can I reach out and, like, it's a touch spell, so reach out and touch Delgrim.
Yep.
And cast protection from evil and good.
I mean,
It's entirely up to you about whether you think that that's a fair thing to do and whether or not that would assist in this instance.
it's not going to change the situation. I think if you think that that's something Ron would do, seeing one of your friends maybe having a bit of a bad dream, it's entirely up to you.
You said ear-splitting scream. You did not say bad dream.
Oh yeah,
levels
no.
of
So
bad
so
dream.
so the ear-splitting scream. If you want to do that as a reaction to that, yes, 100%, that's fine. But I'll quickly get these two saving throws. So, Miera, what did you roll?
I rolled 3, so got 8.
8. Delgrim, what did you roll?
13 all up.
13. Okay, both of you take 65 points of psychic damage.
Whoa! What?
Uh-oh.
You watch as both of your friends scream.
Wow.
Slump. What potentially would appear lifeless on their beds. Delgrim, how many hit points have you got left?
Minus 40.
Minus 40. Okay.
Is that more or less than your total hit point twice?
Less.
Okay.
Yeah. Miera, how many hit points have you got?
Minus 60.
Yeah.
Ouch.
So it's got to be twice. So you've got a maximum of 35 hit points. Is that right? Yeah. Tiernan, you would sit bolt upright from,
He
from this
literally,
noise.
he suddenly snaps himself awake and literally sits up and he says, "No, it doesn't go there." Now, was the scream long, or was it one of these short screams which instantly jolts you up, but you don't know why you've woken up?
With 65 points of psychic damage long.
Yeah.
That's how long it was.
It is.
Twice.
It would not be super long. Does that make sense? Like, it's not going to be like, 10 seconds of constant screaming.
Mhm.
So it would be one long, loud shriek effectively of intense pain.
What I'm getting at is,
Yeah.
you know how if you hear a noise and you wake up and the noise has stopped, by the time you've woken up, you don't know what's woken you up.
It's very apparent what would have woken you up. Like the scream would have been long enough for you to, definitively know. And you would see both of them would be like Rowan. You would see both of them like arch in their beds. You can see their bodies just racked with some kind of intense pain before both of them just slump still. Grumpfel also shoots up, looking around, bits of beard all unkept and all over the place, obviously very confused and bamboozled by what's going on.
What's going on? Rowan?
I don't know. They screamed. You're awake now. Grumpfel's awake now. They're less awake now than they were before.
Are they breathing?
Given that she's physically in contact with Delgrim at this point, I'm going to assume no.
He is. Do a medicine check for me, please.
That is cocked. Hold on. Natural 20.
Natural
Goodness
20.
for a cocked dice.
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Natural 20 plus 1.
Plus one.
Good.
Yeah, no. Delgrim's not breathing.
Grumpfel?
No, is the answer to your question. No.
Yeah, Tiernan's like, he's pulling himself up out of his bedroll and basically trying to dash over.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially is immediately going to cast Cure Wounds on, or she said Delgrim. A sort of just point to Miera and with Grumpfel.
Yeah, like Grumpfel's like seconds behind you, probably like tripping up on, like his pants or something like that. But he gets over beside Miera as I check to make sure he's actually got the spell slots, which he does, luckily. He will also cast Cure Wounds on Miera. So Miera, let me just tick that off. Miera, you get back 11 hit points. So remember, you can't go into negatives in the sense of like you get to 0 in
Mhm.
that sense. So
Zero.
11 hit points will bring you
Okay.
back to consciousness.
Ew.
It's not old school D&D where it was just like, yeah. Mind you, old school D&D is if you went under -10, you were dead. So
Yeah, enjoying your character, buddy.
yeah, you first level wizard with a D4 hit points. Merry Christmas. You got 1 hit point.
I've cast it with a level 2 slot, so Delgrim, you get 14.
Oh. Oh.
Tasty.
Oh.
So both of you gasp essentially back to consciousness. There is still that sharp pain echoing in your heads. You've got the most intense headaches. It's as if your brain is just trying to explode out of your skull at this point in time. But both of you are conscious.
What the hell, guys?
Ah, what was that? Miera, what is this thing in your mind?
Miera will probably have started crying because I think she will still remember the very harsh words that were said towards the end there. So she will just burst into tears and turn to Delgrim with a very confused look on her face. How do you know about that?
I was in dream. I was in your dream trying to reach you while the horizon was split with incredibly eyeball-piercing light. There was large, gigantic, scaly tentacles wrapping up around you. I trying to get you to help you. I could not get you. I could not reach you in dream.
I didn't see that or you, or how did you get in my dream?
I feel maybe Esmerdanna has something to do with it. Maybe my, naturally intelligent ways allowed me to connect with you in some way. Maybe there's some connection between the experiences I have had and whatever this strange thing is in your dreams. Whatever it was that really, really hurt. That was unpleasant. Tiernan, thank you for whatever you did.
Oh, no. Oh. Rowan was the one who told me that you'd stopped breathing. I was still half asleep. Still am half asleep.
Miera, if you did not see me, what did you see? What was it that you experienced in this dream? Tell us so that their friends also know.
Just the dark void, just the blackness, and then a bright light and stars that felt like friends. And then the voice that said some awful things and spoke about an intruder, which, now knowing you were in my dream, must have been you. And there was some mention of the Dawn Dreamers.
Have you heard that name before?
I don't think so.
Oh, I could have sworn I've heard that term before. Where have I heard that term before?
Have we collectively, DM?
I believe, I cannot remember collectively. I have a sneaky suspicion that it is something that Miera has been told a long time ago by Aloysius. I
So
believe.
I Tiernan wouldn't know. Don't worry.
And the part about that which shines, I think we've all heard that.
That which shines will blind us all. It is what...
I think that's what, unless I'm remembering things wrong.
I thought it is what the Donna was saying. Come to think of it, I didn't even think to ask Donna if this was a thing that they had in fact said when we entered caves.
Oh, Esmerdanna, have you heard of the term dawn dreamers?
Oh yeah, she's still around.
It's like right there.
So there's a brief pause, and then inside all of your heads, bar Rowan, you hear the voice of Esmerdanna say, I've heard echoes of it, but much of what you've experienced, Miera, here are the echoes that have been resounding in both of our minds when Esma and myself were separate for some time. Just brief glimpses, brief sounds, but amplified by my brethren from the north, but also something else of which I'm not sure of what it is, but it worries me greatly for whatever it is that is lurking within these dreams of yours, and I believe others as well that are similar to you, Miera. The honeyed words that are heard are not the intent that actually lies with them. There is something far more sinister that sits behind it, but I'm not sure what it is.
So I think Miera will recount as much detail as she can from the dream to the rest of the group so that they have an understanding of at least what happened in that particular dream.
And Delgrim will kind of interject with his bits there as well. And he's visibly frustrated at how ineffective he was in this scenario and in this environment.
Dalian's Rest. That's to the north, isn't it? Esmerdanna, you've previously indicated that there was another of your kind to the north and the south. Is the you just previously indicated it's amplified by your northern brethren. Do you have a connection with your northern strongholds of the Emerald Empire?
A connection in such that I fear my northern brethren was like myself, slain and reverted into a similar form, but it has been hundreds of years since I've been able to communicate fully with that, and I fear that whatever remains may be deceased. There is a weakness there which I do not understand. But I do know that nearby there are also other beings much like Delgrim who appear to utilize the same psychic energy that we do. They may have an understanding of what has become of Tethronos. But alas, all I know is that his presence in the north has amplified what I've been able to sense.
You tell us where Tethronos sits?
I can give you the last location of which I was aware of him. But beyond that, that was thousands of years ago. And she would provide you with some relative information. Definitely north, still within the Scimitar Mountains.
Is Tephronoth Esmerdanna's sibling?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so there was another sibling as well.
Yes, to the south. But I assume that was the place where Slovenia. Am I saying that right, Grumpfel?
Svezina. You got close a few times.
Yeah.
Say it again.
Slovenia.
Yeah.
Batter up,
Excellent.
miss.
Speaking of which, Grumpfel, perhaps your spite might give you better memory of this. Dalian's Rest. This is Aloysius's home. No? I recall a conversation in which Aloysius told us his home is Dalian's Rest. Is this not the case?
Were you asking Grumpfel then or someone else?
Yeah, I'm assuming because Grumpfel really has a problem with Aloysius. He's not going to ask Miera directly.
Yeah.
She's probably conflicted. So yes, so he will ask Grumpfel to confirm his recollection of that.
Grumpfel, let's see if I can channel my inner Grumpfel. Grumpfel goes, I do believe that's what Aloysius said.
Have some coffee.
Coffee.
I also had to make sure that someone made you attempt the voice at least once.
Yeah,
or I
I'm proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. I thought so.
Words of wisdom, etc., etc.
Well, this is pretty serious, guys. You two almost died.
I'm very much aware. I've never felt anything like that. I do not think I've ever been that close to a line between life and death.
It's never physically affected me before.
What do you mean before? Is this not first time you have encountered this strange being in your mind?
Well, I didn't see anything apart from the dark and then the lights. I didn't see a creature. I've always just been in darkness.
And with the same sense of disgust and pain, or is it more the sense you describe of pretty lights and happy memories?
No, I mean, that was the first as well, but generally there's always that sense of there's something there. But I could never see anything. And sometimes it would say things and sometimes it was just silent, floating in a void.
So this could happen again.
I mean, I don't know when it's going to happen.
This is pretty serious. You guys would stop breathing.
What were you doing when it made you scream?
Well, whatever was in there was upset that I think that
I'm aware of what I said. Shut up.
That Delgrim had come into the space.
I was trying to establish if it had any kind of weakness, what nature this creature that I see wrapping up around my friend was. I wonder if perhaps I hit a little too close to home and it reacted unkindly as a result.
Unkindly seems like an understatement to me.
Well, thank you to my friends. I have survived. It's something. I'm very glad, Miera, that you two have been pulled through this situation. But Tiernan makes a good point. This could happen again at any time. We should try and find some kind of way to prevent it from assailing you in your mind if you can do such things, yes?
Esmerdanna, you were able to connect Delgrim and Miera somehow. Is there a way to protect them from this, or at least lessen the impact while we decide what we want to do?
I can think of one way, Tiernan. We find the thing and we kill it. It seems simple enough.
Well, that takes time. It's what you're not going to sleep for however long it takes to get to Darian's Rest. I'm not the best geography person, but it's got to be more than a week's travel.
Grumpfel starts making a big pot of coffee.
Yeah, just a cask of coffee. Grumpfel at this stage is actually you notice he's sort of like stoking up the little fire. He's got out his coffee stuff. He's brewing up something warm. For those of you who maybe don't want coffee to keep you awake, he's probably got like a little bag of, like, I don't know, hot chocolate or something like that. Esmerdanna says, whilst you stay close to me here, I believe I could offer you some protection and probably keep the worst of these presents away. It has a powerful psychic connection, which is something that also resonates within myself. So I could help there. However, once you move beyond the realms of my lair, I'm really not sure how I can protect you, but I am aware that there are those who can create items that will shield one's mind from outside presence. And it could be very well that those who reside nearby where my brethren is to the north have these types of skills. I do not know what the people of this world are like now, but when I was roaming the lands, the deep dwarves were very talented in the manipulation of psychic energy and psychic items. So maybe once again reaching out to your brethren, Delgrim, to the north, they may be able to offer a solution in this respect.
Indeed, and Delgrim will probably convey this to Rowan as well, this conversation with Esmerdanna.
Yeah.
And just kind of add to that, Rowan, this kind of ability to prevent such intrusions, I feel would be useful for you also, and to address some of the concerns you have with this having happened here. But I think now more than ever is important for Miera to find a way to prevent such intrusion into mind. I cannot promise I will not be once again compelled to join Miera's dream.
Rowan, I know, I'm aware that that you don't sleep at night anymore. Did you notice anything before they started screaming?
They were less restful than normal, but to my recollection, there was nothing strange. But then again, things that get inside one's head don't always leave strange markings on the outside.
No, what I'm thinking of is, I'm just wondering, would you be able to tell if they go into that state if it happened again? Just curious if you know if
yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
yeah, like basically we could just, you know, if you're already awake, we could just kick them awake if it only can happen in the dream state.
Compared to other fitful nights that Miera may or may not have had, where she's delved into dream state, would I have noted the difference between those events and her normal sleeping patterns?
I mean, I called out that you noticed that she was definitely
More,
she
yeah.
was more restless. So I think taking into account the events that have happened in that,
Mm.
if you were kind of watching her, you'd probably be able to pick up if she's having a more restless sleep.
Mm.
Whether or not that means she's having
No,
this, but I mean,
fine.
look, it's possibly better than nothing
Well,
kind of
that.
thing.
Well, I mean, it depends. Depends on how often, Miera, you want to get woken up, and times when you're not in full dream state. And also, we don't know what happens to Delgrim if Miera's awoken and he's in that state with her. Do
I'm
we?
sure I'll be fine. There's probably nothing that can go too wrong in that scenario. I don't see how it would be too bad.
Esmerdanna says, Delgrim, you were only able to enter Miera's dreams with my assistance. Without that, there is no, as far as I can tell, risk of you being drawn in there. However, whatever that presence was, definitively knows of your existence now as well. I do not know if that means it will be able to enter your dreams in the future, but I sense that due to Miera's inherent connection with the arcane, that is what connects her to whatever this presence is. But this is also beyond the realms of much of my experience, even from the hundreds and hundreds of years of when I was alive.
So they just need a good kicking if they get too restless at sleep. That's a simpler solution at present for a
I mean,
Offer to kick us several times now, Tiernan. Is there something else you're trying to say?
I can only cast Cure Wounds so much, Miera.
I mean, Miera, if you want me to wake you when you go into a state like that, I can, but I don't exactly want to kick you awake on a regular basis if all it's going to mean is you're incredibly tired and therefore potentially really mad at me.
I want you to.
I mean, if I'm
Wake you
thrashing
up?
around,
I can wake you up.
I want you to wake Miera up. If you are awake and none of the rest of us are awake, if any one of you is awake and you see Miera reacting in a way that seems like she's not sleeping well, you wake her immediately. I cannot tell you, this thing was vast. It was cruel. It had wrapped itself around our friend. Whatever it is not good. It
Okay.
wants her for something.
Rowan is looking directly at Miera because she has asked for, essentially, she's requesting consent to kick her awake on a semi-regular basis, but doesn't want to do that. Like, she can hear Delgrim. She's listening, but that's not the person who she asked.
Miera, would you prefer a bucket of water, a kick, or a shake?
I would prefer a shake.
You sure?
Let's
Bucket
be
of water
humane
will
about
work
this.
really well.
And
Humane.
please only do it if I'm like thrashing around.
You want me to do it if you're thrashing around or if you're like you were before you screamed your lungs out? Because those two things are arguably different.
On a scale of thrashiness, how thrashy was it? Was it just
Ham,
like...
on a scale of thrashiness, how thrashy was it?
Look, I think
Thrashiness level has been combined.
Do we need to roll a d10? Is that what we need to do?
On a scale of 1 to 100.
I think on a scale of 1 to 5, Miera's thrashing was probably about a 3.
Mm-hmm.
So it was noticeable, but not like someone who is
fitful as opposed to someone having a
like, you know how you see those people who are just like, oh my god, no, and they're thrashing it. Not that level, but definitely like, yeah.
I mean, you weren't exactly trying to bat away invisible bats, but like you weren't sleeping soundly, if that's what you mean.
I don't want to be woken up all the time if it's not needed, because obviously, I need
I mean, I don't
sleep.
want to wake you if it's not needed.
Yeah.
But I guess there's nothing. It's not that bad if I wake you and then you fall back asleep.
It's true.
As long as you're woken, right?
Or we could, I'm assuming if Delgrim can't get into my dreams without Esmerdanna being here, and if we're not going to be sticking around here for a while, we could try the whole method of see how it goes. And if it happens again, then yeah, wake me up. But then from there, we know that, okay, malthractionist means wake Miera up.
As the party spends the next hour going through defining levels of threat, Miera.
Well, no, just more like this is just essentially
Yeah.
if that's the vibe, then that's where we're at, and like
Yeah.
she'll acquiesce to.
So I don't want to get exhausted.
Yeah, I'm sure that you guys would be able to like work out like that balance of when to do it, and I mean it would take you having to be woken up like every hour on the hour where you're actually fully coming out of sleep for you to like be effectively exhausted by the end of this. So I guess it just depends on how horrible I want to be, but yeah.
Yeah, and also how cranky you want Miera, because she doesn't like being woken up.
Yeah.
Well, this would only be a temporary fix. Do you have some brethren to the north, Delgrim?
I was actually just about to throw that question to the DM. So, Esmerdanna did mention Delgrim's brethren to the north. I take it in the Scimitar Mountains, there's a known kind of Dwergar stronghold of some particular kind.
I have got a funny feeling Abrasaur might have told you about.
Oh, Abrasaur shared so many cool stories.
I'm fairly sure he told you about a place to the north along the Scimitar Mountains called Nar Ithil, sorry.
That's not on the map.
I'll go back through the Abrasaur.
That was the map maker, wasn't it?
Yes. Remember unkind man who created the map to this cave for us, who made fun of my hat.
He was rude.
There's nothing wrong with my hat. My hat is beautiful. Look at it. But he did not enjoy it.
Where do you keep that thing?
Wherever it needs to be, Tiernan. That is not important right now. He made fun of my head, but he did also mention a place in northern Scimitar Mountains called Nar Ithil. Ithil? This must be brethren that Esmerdanna speak of.
Okay. Well, seems like we probably need to go there. If that's what you want to do, Miera, you've explained a bit about this strange dream. I'm not too sure who or what the arcane is.
I mean, I don't know, there's two choices. Esmerdanna is saying find Delgrim's brethren. Whatever's in the dream is saying to go to the Dawn Dreamers, which is in Dalian's Rest.
Dalian's Rest is also to north, so perhaps
it's in the same direction.
Yeah, if we head north in mountain range, we find hopefully some kind of protection for whatever this attack is on your psyche, and hopefully also for the rest of us as well, and then we can make our way from there to Dalian's Rest and uncover whatever clue, trap, information this is that this thing wants you to go there for. And perhaps also we meet up with Aloysius, who started all of this nonsense. I know I and Grumpfel both have few choice words.
And you hear Grumpfel in the back.
Yeah.
Massa.
coffee mug
basically
is just
became
like
Something
crushed.
about coffee pots being inserted in places and things like that.
Miera will shoot you both a very not so happy look.
We became the scapegoats. You know, the whole burning,
You became the scapegoat.
running through town.
Accidents happen. I don't think it was intended to go that way. Does, just off out of character, does our map that we purchased that has here
Yeah.
on it, does it extend further to
No.
the north as well?
It goes a little bit further to the north, not much.
Not much.
So it basically gives us a bit of a road to Darlene's Rest.
Yeah, so Darlene Rest this way.
Yeah, more or
Yeah.
less.
Yeah. Yeah. That map is literally the map that you got. So because you'd specifically asked for like sort of that part of the world, and Abrasor had actually like hand drawn it.
Thanks for nothing, Abrasor, you jerk. I mean,
It just means we have to go. Well, no, we can't. Civil War.
Well, look, as far as I can tell, I guess it's from your description, Miera. Is it the arcane
That's what they
that's
said.
hurt you guys?
So Tiernan, like the term arcane is not unfamiliar to you. You know it's intrinsically linked to magic.
But I have
It's
no experience
definitely-
with it.
And it's definitely something you would have heard about. Yeah, like within Shardfall and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a concept, isn't it?
It is. It's like it's a concept of a type of magic. Yeah.
yeah. And did Athelas explain that there was two names for the cataclysm thing, and one of them was like Arcanathon, Arcanapocalypse.
The Arcanaclysm.
The
Yep.
Arcanaclysm. Yeah, yeah.
Arcanathon. That's a different event altogether. That's about fundraising.
Yeah.
So
Excellent.
yeah.
Yeah, so we're familiar with arcane, arcana as a general kind of concept, I guess, related to that. Okay.
Well, what I'm trying to ask, Miera, is the being that you experienced, was it inherently of the Dawnbreakers, or was it inherently of the arcane? Even if you don't know, is that a being you wish to listen to, obey, or it basically killed the two of you?
I don't know about a creature. I don't know. There was no creature, there's voices.
Well,
and I don't know whether necessarily it was what I initially felt with the light and the stars and the good feelings. I don't think that it was that hurt me. And I think that is connected to the Dawnbreakers. The other voice that got mad that there was that Delgrim was there and that I had accepted gifts from Esmerdanna that it said I wasn't worthy of. I don't know whether that is the same thing or something different.
And Tiernan, there are things in this world that are not meant to be. It is entirely possible that in Miera's mind, where this dream occurred, the creature that I saw was simply the only way my mind was able to comprehend it. This is not uncommon with creatures that should not exist in this world, the kind of which I hunt and kill successfully where I am from.
You just died. Oh well. I was just trying to ascertain whether or not Miera would prefer to defend herself first, or pursue the Dawn Breakers?
Dreamers.
Dreamers.
As in, whether I'm going to go back to sleep, like let myself go back to sleep again.
Oh no, I meant
Darling's
Aloysius and
Rest,
Co.
or
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, it
Darling's
depends.
Rest or the
I mean,
mountains.
if they're both in the same direction, we hit one first. Whichever one we hit first, I guess.
Well, my memory isn't good, but don't the mountains, and please correct me if I'm wrong, bend up further east before they go north? I'm assuming the deep gnomes are on. No.
They basically go north.
All right,
there is a slight curve, but not in a dramatic kind of sense. Not northwards, anyway.
All right. Well, is Delian Rest close to the Scimitar Mountains?
I wouldn't say close.
No. Okay. Well, which one do we go to first?
I think there is a chance of more and more significant danger in Dalian's Rest. To me, it makes sense that we do what we can to make sure we are as protected as we can be before we go there. And also, if civil war has progressed, if investigations have occurred, if Aloysius has been identified and Dalian's Rest is known residents of Aloysius, maybe giving a little more time before we head in that direction is also a good idea, yes?
I can't believe I come down from Catharbal and I get involved in a civil war within a matter of months.
You say that out loud? Did you say that out loud?
He's actually muttering to himself, but it's clearly heard by all ears.
Rowan's face just says volumes and is essentially saying, given your behavior, am I surprised? Not at all.
Tiernan returns a look of confusion to you.
That's fair.
I, for one, was always worried I might accidentally start civil war by something I actually do. So I'm actually glad that we are not to blame for those events.
Esmerdanna says, I am concerned that whatever it is that is going on in the north stretches beyond just your small friend's experiences. Whatever it is that's lurking in these dreams, whatever it is that I've sensed over time, whatever that which shines is, there is something far more ominous. But I do not have a sense beyond that. And I would warn all of you that if you are intending to travel north, to be cautious, to consider who you tell what you know, because there could be many different forces at play. And trusting in the wrong faction could lead to disaster for all of you, and potentially disaster for people of this land. And whilst I am still in this form, whilst I am very much unable to do much beyond assisting you, I still have a sense of duty to the people that reside in this part of the world and want to see them protected. But again, from what was experienced in this dream, these risks might stretch beyond the lands to the west of the Scimitar Mountains. It could expand to this entire world.
One apocalyptic situation at a time, please.
So, with the group faced with this information and pondering what to do next, let's take a short break. And we will return in about 5 or 10 minutes. And we will see if there's further discussions across the group as to what everyone is wanting to do. Will they head north, and if so, where? What about Greenfields, the original small town that you guys came all this way to actually help out? We'll be back in 5 or 10 minutes. We're back. All right. Where we left off, Delgrim and Miera had suffered the repercussions of messing with dark dreams, only to discover that there is something else lurking out there of which they are now unsure of, with the term that which shines being thrown about, as well as the Dawn Dreamers and Miera's connection with the arcane, very source of magic. The party has debated potentially what to do next, with Esmerdanna putting in their 5 cents worth. Grumpfel, who's been pretty quiet off to the side, organising coffee and stuff, as everyone kind of settles down a bit after this conversation and maybe looking at having a bit more of a rest, will come up beside Rowan. And just sort of, the two of you have had a bit of a connection recently, and he puts sort of a reassuring hand on your shoulder and he says, Rowan, my dear, you've been somewhat reluctant with the choices of the group recently. How are you feeling about these conversations? I know that you're kind of getting the information from Delgrim in regards to what Esmerdanna is saying, but what are you wanting to do?
I mean, to me, this whatever's happened that we can't see seems more likely to be hurting somebody in this party than anything else. But I understand that others, and she sort of like eyeballs Tiernan as she's talking to Grumpfel, are still wanting to help Greenfields. I wasn't so much a part of that conversation, and I don't want to tell the group what to do, but strikes me as one of these things has almost killed 2 people in our small band of 5 real fast.
Well, in my experience, dear, and I've had considerable experience over my years, often it's the greatest risks which can bring the greatest rewards. But
I'm not in it for a reward.
rewards,
You know that.
rewards are sometimes less tangible than what some people think. It's sometimes they take great sacrifice as well. I mean, I'm just an old gnome at this stage. I'm traveling along with these people who I'm starting to call good friends, and it sounds to me like there's more going on in this world than what I was
That you
definitely
can dream of in your
anticipating.
reality. Yeah, I know.
But the question
think
is, I suppose, Rowan, like, what are you wanting to do? You won't be telling the group what to do, but everyone has a voice here, I think.
Even you.
Even me. I will make my choices as well, and those are the choices that I will stand by.
From my understanding, this group has tied itself to Greenfields. So, there's that. But really, for me, I'd really like to make sure that whatever happened in that theatre isn't going to affect my family at home. So, provided our course of action isn't going to affect them negatively, and we're not just putting our heads in the sand about something that arguably we're going to be blamed for, or at least most of us. I just don't want that to get worse. And I don't particularly want people putting themselves in danger for no reason. So if we're already in danger, or potentially 2 of our number are, then that strikes me as something that needs to be taken care of pretty darn quickly.
It sounds very sensible to me. I still fear that there is more going on here. That maybe we are being drawn into something which is bigger than any of us ever really anticipated when we all got together in Greenfields, and it may be that all of us get to a point where we have to make a decision about where our lives will lead and what choices we make. Do we tether ourselves to a small town like Greenfields and ensure the safety of the good people there and the good people of Riverview and your family, or do we maybe need to turn and look at the bigger picture? And these are decisions that I certainly can't make on my own, and I think as a group we will need to have some of these conversations. But I'm always very cautious of where we're going to go and what we're going to do. I like to live by the idea of those who don't reason perish in the act, but those who don't act, Rowan, perish for that reason.
Grumpfel, I left Riverview for a reason. Because I don't want to be tied to a small town for the rest of my life. But I also don't want to see a small town go colloquially up in flames because of my actions either.
Well, maybe as a group we have to do what we said we were going to do for Greenfields and then take a bigger step up into the world and find where our places actually lie. Maybe there is a lot more that fate dictates for us, or if you don't believe in fate, maybe this is an opportunity for us to carve out our place in the world and do some good. But I think these are good people that we travel with, and I think that we need to make sure that as a group we're all pulling together and we've all got the right idea in mind. But for now, I think it's the middle of the night or it's the middle of the day. I don't know. We're all underground, and
I
probably
thought you
shouldn't
liked
get
the
confused.
underground,
I
Grumpfel.
do normally, but we've spent a lot of time above ground, and I'm old, and the DM forgets things sometimes. So I think for now, here's a nice cup of hot chocolate, and you're not going to go to sleep, but I am because I'm tired and I'm old and my back's sore. And he,
Sorry, Ham just living his real life in the last.
pretty much
Yeah.
projecting.
Way to self-insert, my guy.
Tired and I'm holding my back hurts.
So,
He,
Canon, Grumpfel has a sore back.
So back, yeah.
Again, he gives you a little sort of reassuring pat on the shoulder, and then heads off to his little bedroll.
I didn't mean to call you out.
No, it's fine. It's 100%. I was 100% projecting. I've got it.
Oh wait, I'm a gnome. Oh,
Yeah, that means I was like,
Actually, as soon as I started saying something about not knowing what the time, I was just like, no, fuck, hold on. He's a deep gnome. Of course he's going to.
he's like,
But
So-
holy shit, some of those sayings, man.
Yeah.
Just write them down in advance. Jesus.
oh my god.
So, Heath, I'm channeling you there, my friend.
well, he's not dead, man. He's at the movies. Come
Just maybe tell him to rewatch this before the next session so he
Yeah.
knows what he said.
Yeah.
This is fast
All right,
becoming
sorry.
the
Yeah,
dog
back
situation
on
all
track.
over again.
Let's go.
Hamiltonion has channeled through Grumpfel for a moment.
Yeah.
So, with that, you guys, I'm not sure if there's any other conversations, but maybe for now, a long rest is had. You will sort of go back to your respective bed rolls. Consider the conversations that have been had. And the next morning rolls around. Everyone feel free to hit the long rest button on your character sheets. The embers of your small campfire would be fairly low, not fully extinguished, so that it's easy enough to get going. And as always, Grumpfel will probably be one of the first to awaken and start getting coffee and everything sorted for everybody else, and maybe sorting out some food and the like. What would you guys like to do?
I'd like to get out of this underground, to be perfectly honest. She sort of mutters that to anyone who's listening as she's packing up her stuff.
Yeah, I'm not used to this low sort of ceiling either. I'm used to more open skies.
So we're still in a ziggurat, aren't we? So that actually makes sense. For a minute there,
Yeah.
I was thinking around
Much
the
as our
cave, and I was
backgrounds
like,
don't say
"It's
that, we are
really
still
high."
underground.
Yes, we
Yeah.
are still currently.
And Rowan
in
is
the
still like,
ziggurat.
I don't want to be here.
And I think this is wise. I think before we leave, one thing I would like to do is collect some of these crystals, send part to Grumpfel's home for some processing, send some directly to Greenfields.
You may want to ask Esmerdanna before you do that, because
Bold of you, Tiernan, to assume I have not already done so.
I would just like to make a quick observation in case it's been missed amongst all of the various sort of conversations and stuff like that. There is a not insignificant amount of like gold and silver coins scattered across the floor as well.
Which we're told we
Miera-
can take.
Miera did
Right.
not miss that.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's just been very silly putting 1, 2, 3.
Could be collecting some.
Good. Yeah.
well, we got to pick it up, I guess.
Yeah, pick up as much as you can. Fill your pockets. Oh, we have a bag of holding, do we not?
Yes, we do.
Do we?
Yes,
do.
we do.
Yeah.
When did
It's
that
almost like
happen?
the DM put a list of the items that you guys found and
Mm.
reminded you guys to make sure that you'd worked out who had what.
Yeah,
after your
we did.
session.
I don't think
I
we
wasn't
worked out
there when
who-
that was found. So
I can't remember when we found the bag of holding, to be fair.
A bag of holding was found in the underground lake with Dana.
Oh, I didn't think that. I thought that wasn't a bag of
You
holding.
said it was just a plain old stupid pouch.
Yeah.
That seemed to
No.
exist underwater for so long,
Yeah.
hundreds of years.
Incredible. Who has that? That sounds like a mirror thing being
Wouldn't that
held on to.
No, didn't you pick it up?
No, I think you had it, Delgrim.
Rowan would not have it. There you go. You guys can argue amongst yourselves, but not
That
me.
cuts out one.
Tiernan doesn't have it.
Shall we roll these for it?
All right.
Shall I
Who
roll on
wishes to
behalf of
become the
Grumpfel?
pack mule?
Yeah. Roll on behalf of Grumpfel.
What are we rolling so I can roll on behalf of Heath?
D20.
D20. Yeah.
D20 start with. Yeah. Ooh, 19.
He rolled an 8. Heath rolled an 18. I hope that's okay, Heath. I rolled on my blue metal.
Delgrim gets it.
Thinking
I
of you,
rolled a
buddy.
14.
14. So it looks like Delgrim's got it.
Sweet. Well, my wet pouch appears to be able to take quite a lot of many things in it.
It's still wet.
The soggy, yes. It's not been very long out of water, Tiernan.
Actually, it's been close to 48 hours at this stage.
Could still be soggy. It's been down
Yeah,
there
it's
a
a
long time.
cave.
We're
Everything's
damp
damp
down
in caves.
Yeah. And I mean,
Well,
I imagine Delgrim's just kind of permanently moist. So
It's not
I
untrue.
can see that.
He's been sweating a lot. There hasn't been
Yes.
many opportunities to
Oh.
shower.
yeah, you guys would be ripe as. Okay, anyway, cool. So
Hmm.
you've got the bag of holding. That's fine. You can feel free to add that to your character sheet.
I feel like Heath has the bountiful cauldron just because I feel like that's correct, by the way.
Mm.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Like,
Ooh.
I know there was a small amount of discussion about whether or not potentially Miera would have it, but I think that was when you were still thinking maybe you could make cookies in it, which you can't.
Well,
Yeah.
you could borrow it and do that.
Oh, I mean, you could borrow it, yeah.
Can't make cookies in it. It's not worth it.
Yeah, if there's no, yeah. That's that's Miera's, like, that's your branding. If it's not a sparkle cookie, it's not worth it.
Yeah, yeah.
I have some
okay.
dire bacon, Miera. That could be more up your speed.
Can bacon go into cookies? Is this thing?
Ooh,
It's a food.
maybe.
It I found it on the up at Craig's Slate. Remember?
I do. There
Mhm.
was chest in
Mm.
tower, yes, and the bacon was there.
And I found a wand, but it only writes in the air.
I know. I'm pretty sure I had
Same.
that wand, but it looks good in your
Mm.
hands.
There was
Does.
also the spice.
So
Oh,
the spice.
box. That's you
Yeah.
picked that up, Miera.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I've got that.
Uh,
And then the hairpin. I think that was it.
and perfume that you say
Oh, yeah, that was.
will be good for talking to nobility.
So the other thing as well was that because I think I admitted one thing from there, which was the mace that Grumpfel had picked up, which is actually called a mace of anointing. You can actually put things like Greek fire and stuff like that in the head of it. So when you actually connect, it will unleash whatever is in those containers. But there is also the stun stick as well, which is a staff.
I thought that was going to. I'm
Yeah,
not
I
too sure
think
who that was.
I think
Grumpfel had
Grumpfel-
the staff because
Grumpfel-
he made the comment about having a few staffs.
He was debating whether or not to use that or the one that he's currently using, which gives him benefits of like with the radiant stuff that a lot of his spells do. So
All the mace.
happy to park that. It might be that's
Yeah.
a conversation when
when
Heath's
Heath's
back
back.
around.
That sounds
Yeah.
good.
You also
um,
didn't explain the bolt of glamour weave.
The bolt of glamour weave it's a material which when woven into an actual like piece of clothing. Let me just quickly look it up again because I've got
Is that the one that creates
goldfish.
the illusion on it?
Yeah. So
Okay.
when you make a charisma performance or persuasion check, when you're wearing an item that's made from glamour weave, you actually roll a d4 and add that number to the roll
But it need to
you
be
can do
turned
that
into clothing.
once a
first.
day. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it still can be handy, but it does have to be actually manufactured into like an item of clothing.
Okay.
And Miera and Rowan have, I think, one radiance bomb each.
Or Miera had one.
Mm.
Oh, does you still have one?
I don't think she's used one yet.
Did
I
you
know
use
No,
yours?
actually, I
know
don't think
Delga
I've
has.
used the one I had because I ended up doing the thunder step thing.
Yeah, I know Delgrim's used 2 of them, I believe.
Yeah, and then he gave Rowan and I
One
one.
to me and one
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
Well, I guess we start picking up the gold coins and so forth if Esmerdanna has already granted permission for it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cool. So you go through and you start collecting up all of the gold coins. I want all of you to please make investigation rolls for me. because they're not in a nice, neat little pile. They're scattered all over the place. It seems like this place has been partially looted in the past, and money's scattered. It's under broken furniture. It's all over the place. Some of the coins are damaged and beyond sort of usage.
22.
22. Delgrim.
12.
12. Rowan.
18.
18. Cool. Miera.
Nat 20. So nat 24.
Ooh.
Of course.
Of course.
I'm just solidifying.
Moneybags mirror.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Who's
Why are
who's-
you holding the bag of holding?
Yeah. Yep. And she's off. All right. Who's writing this down? Who's the official money recorder?
We all have the ability to record currency on our respective character sheets.
Cool. Because I'm just going to give you a total, so I just want to make sure that we don't all count it and then
Does someone need to roll for Heath?
the hate. Oh yes.
Mm.
Yep.
I'll do it. I've got a second dice here. Hang on.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
you
that'd
got-
be cool. Thanks, Kate.
He rolled a 12 plus whatever his
I'm looking at that now. Cool.
stats.
Okay, let me just.
Whatever we get, we just split evenly.
That's probably going to be the easiest.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you how much you find.
Give us a figure,
altogether.
baby.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you find 2,518 gold pieces
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and 1,012 silver pieces.
So that is 503 with 0.6 over each for gold pieces, which is 3 over. And what was it? Sorry, what was the number for silver pieces?
And 12.
1012.
1,012. So 1,012 divided by 5 is 202 with two silver pieces left over. So then how many silver pieces in a gold piece? 10. So 32 divided by 5. So that's an extra 6 silver pieces each functionally, but I can't do the math any more than that.
So 503 gold pieces, 6
Yeah.
silver pieces. Plus.
No, and 503 gold and
208
1,012.
essentially with the extras.
Is it 10 silvers to a gold or 100 silvers to a gold?
10 silvers
10.
to gold.
Yep.
Using
So,
copper.
so 208
Yeah.
silver.
Yeah.
And 4 copper.
Any platinum?
It's not
I
4
hate
copper.
platinum.
It's not 4 copper because it's 4 by 5 is 2 silver pieces divided by 4 of us. 5. Oh, it's yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, Cass, there's no platinum pieces.
Oh.
Platinum pieces suck.
Otherwise, I would have said there's many
Um,
platinum pieces.
Hey, Hamish, do you want to write these numbers down so that you've got them for Heath to add?
I've got them here.
So 503
dump it
gold,
in the chat.
208 silver, and 4 copper each.
So, how much silver?
208.
208.
Cool. And there's a couple of copper pieces.
4 copper pieces each.
Nice.
We're rich.
Rich.
Ish.
Math. So much
Okay.
math.
Yeah. It's all right. I could have thrown in some Electrum just to really kind of screw with people's heads.
Yeah, I
But
can do it. It's fine.
yeah. Who uses Electrum? Okay. So, after probably spending a good hour or so scrounging around, digging up coins, then sitting through and dividing it all up, you do see that like a lot of these coins have got like they've got weird symbols on them, obviously from minted from a completely different time. Some of them are different shapes, shapes that you wouldn't normally sort of encounter in the money that you currently use. It's very obvious that a lot of these are very, very ancient. Hey, maybe even collectible, who knows? But with that done and everything collected, all of your belongings packed up and ready to go, also make sure that if you have done anything weird with your hit points, like adding on those bonus hit points from anything like that, make sure you've hacked all that off too. What are your guys' plans now?
Matt. Yeah, Miera?
Are we out of the cavern?
Well, I'm saying you're all packed up. Are you you're in the ziggurat, everything's packed up, all your backpacks are loaded up, you're all clinking like a bunch of money bags.
Rolling in it.
Yeah.
If we're packing up and we're going to be leaving the cavern, obviously the idea is next steps. I know we were having discussions about it last night, but there is one thing that I probably should have pointed out, which I think I have said several times throughout, which was essentially part of the reasoning why I said that we needed to keep pushing forward. And that's the promise that we made to Greenfield. I personally don't want to break a promise and would prefer that I risk any or take any risk to me if it means like sleeping and having a dream again. I would prefer to risk that than break a promise.
Well, just a question. Is there like a courier system down here at all that we could maybe just send them a note with a package?
Sure, the Guild of Sending does physical delivery as well as fancy head message.
We could send them the map.
The map?
To here.
I also discussed a little while ago with Grumpfel having his people refine some of the crystal in cavern outside Ziggurat here.
Which reminds me, sorry, just very quickly to interrupt. You are unable to gather any of the crystal. You cannot find any scattered about. And when you actually try and break it off, it is impossible. And that's when Grumpfel just reminds you that his people down in Esmerdanna actually need special equipment to be able to actually, even effectively harvest the crystal or mine the crystal.
What I mean to say is I have discussed previously with Grumpfel need to set up mining operation in cavern here so that Greenfield can benefit from refination of crystal. Basic plan, it's simple, it very similar to way mining areas are claimed back home. We write up some kind of claim document. There is partial ownership with Grumpfel's people who know how to work this particular material. There is partial ownership of town of Greenfield. They have stake in mine also. There is partial ownership perhaps for us. And then I'm more comfortable then. There are good people here to visit and make sure that Esmerdanna has some company that is not going to take advantage of their situation.
Do you remember the type of people in charge in Greenfields? Do you really want them coming here?
But they're not in charge anymore. Because remember we got I can't remember if you were there. We got rid of what's his face?
Maybe actually, Rowan,
he's in jail.
In the universe that you went to, what happened to that?
Oh my god, what's his name?
Peridin.
Yes.
What happened to Peridin in the universe you went to? Was he there? Did he die? Did he?
I didn't see him and I didn't ask. It's not exactly like he was my priority when I was in a completely new, weird place I'd never been to before.
I wonder if he went into the fighting pits.
I'm pretty sure he may have ended up in the fighting pits.
I hope he died.
The bad guys
in other universes.
The point I'm making is that people who tend to put themselves in charge of places can be corrupted by power. Do we necessarily want them having access to Esmerdanna is my question.
I think the people that are in charge of Greenfield are good people. They didn't ask to be put in charge. They're in charge because of their love of the people, the villagers, and their town.
Well, hold up. Are we sending We're sending some sort of payment to Greenfields, yes? to
Plan
stop-
I have is very similar
What
to.
is your plan? What is your plan, Delgrim?
So Greenfield, the town, not individual person, which limit the way it is structured in Narva Lodge. It is structured in such a way that it limits the ability for one or handful of individuals to take advantage of incredible wealth that might be found in such mines. Right.
So did you split it up between different ownerships?
The stake is held by the town itself, and the town is the only entity that can benefit from any profits that arise from mine.
Which
Does,
town?
does this make sense? Greenfields, in this case, would be the stakeholder, one part stakeholder of mining operation here.
But who are the miners?
Well, this is up to Greenfield and Grumpfel's home to determine who might travel here to work the mine, to learn from Esmerdanna, and to refacilitate ziggurat if they so choose to stay.
Okay, well, the Grumpfel's clan, that makes sense because they're familiar with the stone.
And also have investment in protecting knowledge of what can be done with it as well.
Proprietary knowledge. Makes sense.
It does not rule out, as you say, Rowan, one individual taking advantage of those circumstances. I feel like Esmerdanna probably able to handle such situation if it should arise. It's foolproof plan that I invented overnight in what may, to the unlearned eye, seem like approximately 8 seconds of thinking about it, but it's rock solid plan.
I think so. We had like Greenfield, Wex and Priscilla. They're both priests, so nothing can go wrong.
Also, it would be good in same communication to Greenfield's woman Bex's adoptive mother. What was her name? Olga? Olna? Alumni?
Now you're just making stuff
Orin.
up, Delgrim.
You know, Tiernan and I are not very good with names. I rely on you to remember these things and remind me.
Oh, then you're in deep water, my friend.
I don't know who you're referring to.
Miera, she was foster mother of one of you. Oh, not Bex.
Oh, Ori.
Ori, yes, Ori, that one, Ori. Ori was Rowan. I don't recall if you were there when this happened or not, but Rowan, when trouble started, in Harrow, we sent Ori to Greenfields as place was probably safest to be at that time.
That's right. Isn't everybody who's in the rat's nest don't want to be there?
I would be
I mean,
surprised
right now
if
in a giant
anyone-
war, they probably really don't want to be there.
Yeah.
Like,
Does anybody in Harrow want to be there right now? Yeah.
Well, it could be like a recruitment drive or something. Avoid the war, come here. Esmerdanna is lonely. Solution.
No, absolutely not. People who are pressed into service in conflict are not people that we want to bring to this place.
We don't. Well, it's whether or not they flee. Whatever. I'm not trying to complicate it.
It's good plan.
I
Good
think the
folk
plan
of
is good.
Greenfield, good folk of Grumpfel's home come together. We have silent partner stake in mine also, which was Miera our original plan. If gem mine, as was called, it turned out to be a good idea. I think this benefits everybody in safest possible way so far.
One question.
Yes, Tiernan.
How do we connect all the parties together?
Well,
They're like weeks to the west, and I'm assuming weeks to the south.
so, I mean, face-to-face meetups would have to be held here, so that they'd have to come here to meet.
Well, I
I
mean,
would imagine.
in the initial request, how do we handle that?
Well, we could go to Greenfield.
is long way travel.
Long way.
Yeah, it's a bit of a long way.
We could send a letter.
Well,
And I think
does the
Ori
Guild
and
Ascending
Lestwell were
can handle
heading at
parcels?
Green.
They
Was
were
that?
yes.
I think so. I think they could send things.
Is almost guaranteed from here northward to seek out protection for you, Miera, and then westward to Dalian's Rest is almost guaranteed we find Sending Guild. These kinds of mining operations, they do not happen overnight, but they do happen. Situation Greenfield is in is not going to put them under overnight. Banking systems, I am told, are quite slow and unwieldy. You know, we have time to do effective communications and have smarter people than me set up good logistics to make mining operation happen.
Well, okay. Well, to sum it up, the idea is to locate a sending guild, send a parcel to Greenfields, which will contain maybe not necessarily currency, but maybe a precious gem of some kind to assist with the loan repayment that would resolve that, and then establish connection with Grumpfel's clan via the Guild Ascending. Is that
Direct
the
loan
plan?
repayment not even required. Greenfield just needs statement to banking institution to say we have stake in an incredibly profitable mine. Bank will then say, okay, we give you extension on debt. Here's a little bit of interest, which Greenfield be able to pay back easily because, as Grumpfel said, one small handful of this thing able to pay their debt 4 times over.
Well, they just move. They could move Greenfields.
Was it a reputable business? A bank organization?
Yeah, it was all, I think. Oh, no, it was the.
Sheridan wasn't exactly the most reliable of fellows.
No, I think it was. It was it some of the families in where was it? Up north on the coast.
Deep Cove.
Deep Cove. I think it was someone was shaking him down from Deep Cove. But I wonder if that's gone away because he's more than certainly dead at this point.
Well, okay. Well, it seems like we need to get to at least a Guild Ascending before we can really do anything. So
does that mean we can leave the Kiev at a bare minimum?
Yes.
Like, Rowan is just sitting there like, I do not want to be in the cave. I'm sitting on my stuff. Can we leave now?
Rowan, we can absolutely leave cave, but Delgrim will...
like the excited kid on a holiday being like,
let's go.
Let's leave the cave.
We can absolutely leave cave. Delgrim will kick at one of the crystals one last time, just in the hope that it breaks, that he can grab someone.
Yeah,
have
you set up Economics 101. This is your fault. This is your world.
You kick the crystal and you hear Esmerdanna go, ow.
Oh
no! Oh, Esmerdanna, thank you again for your hospitality, your gifts. I'm glad we found you in this time. Delgrim will say as they are leaving the ziggurat and the cave, with Rowan getting more and more agitated.
Well, as everyone has actually will wander out off, Tiernan would like to go up to Esmerdanna when there's no one in the room. So he'll wait till you guys all walk out. And well, thank you, Esmerdanna, for everything. I'm glad we were able to help, and he just looks at the crystal and is that we'll find you a new family. Don't worry. And then feeling a bit sheepish, he goes to walk out of the room.
Stay safe, Tiernan. And thank you for, again, everything that you have done for me.
Glad I could be of service.
You all slowly make your way back down the strange lift to the base of the ziggurat, back through the halls of history, out into the giant cavern and begin the long, slow trek back through these caves, back towards the surface. It probably takes the better part of like a full day to make your way all the way back through, having to climb back up the long shaft that led you down here, navigate your way through the various mining passages and the like. You emerge back onto the surface, and it's probably early evening at this stage. It's overcast. There's no sign of the moon. But it's quite pleasant because you can hear the various chittering of wild animals that you've missed with being underground for the last few days. The cool breeze that gently wafts across the group, and there's just the slightest drizzle. Again, it's comforting. It's that sense of being back out under the huge sky, which for some of you is what you've been yearning for since you first went down into the mines. There's that smell of just wet earth, the fresh grass, but there is a slight chill to the air, which reminds you that you have now gone from summer into the early days of autumn. Down the path, you can see what is left of the small town of Cragslate. You can see the little barricade where you fought against those strange crystal creatures. You can see the tall tower. And you know, further beyond that is that ancient lift system which got you back up here.
Single tear for Dog.
Yeah. R.I.P. Doug.
Rolls his eyes.
Never met Dog.
Took a block and tackle with him. It's very sad.
Yeah, that's where all Delgrim's money went.
It truly was.
Yeah. Hashtag horrible DM. So for brevity's sake, where are you guys? Sort of what's the direction? Where are you guys trying to kind of go to from here?
To the north, then?
We're going off road, or are we intending to go back to Barleyburg first?
Barleyburg, I think, did have the closest. Was it a guild of sending, or at least a little outpost?
We bought some stuff from Barleyburg, I recall.
I think I sent a letter.
You did send a letter from Barleyburg, I think, to someone.
I did.
Seemed like a good idea a sure bet to begin machinations of great mining operation, rather than hoping we stumble across something on the way.
Barleyburg.
All right. So you guys are going to head back towards Barleyburg. Okay. The trip back to Barleyburg you've got a choice, very much like you came this way. You can travel back through the swamps, which was the more direct but maybe less pleasant way, or you can skirt around the swamps close to up where the old woods are, but that would probably take you an extra half a day to navigate.
Rowan, would you like to potentially meet strange old hag on giant turtle that probably tried to kill us?
Not
I'm
that creature.
Going to go with no.
Okay, then we probably want to avoid swamp.
Okay.
You still smell like the swamp, Delgrim.
That problem?
It's been a few days.
Would have finished her off on the next path through.
Oh dear Lord.
I mean,
Okay.
she will also have had lots of time to sleep and recuperate for the time we've been down in the ziggurat dealing with other things. So...
Also, I'm fairly certain only reason we did not all be destroyed is because of Orc Friend.
Oh, yeah,
Switch
Gurlach.
with you, Rowan.
Gurlach.
Gerlach, yes, he one of those who switch with you when you disappear. I say friend, but the Tiernan, I feel some kind of tension between you and he in respective treatment of whatever secret stuff is.
Look, it's very hard to establish a friendship with someone who is the oppressor of your people, Delgrim.
What?
If from a completely
talking
different
about?
universe, Tiernan, how he oppressed your people?
He won.
I don't understand. Oh, hello, computer. Thank you for doing that. Very quiet line.
Be enlightened.
Love it.
It's
Sorry,
it's
Rowan,
a bit
you
of
were
a
saying.
long story.
I mean, we've got time if we're walking not through the swamp. So,
Well, Gerlach was from a time when my people lost the war, and
what war?
The war between the Empire and a time before Kafar Baal became mobile. So they won the war against the Shard folk, and they absorbed our people. How many of my people survived? I don't know. Granted, this happened would have happened at least a century ago. Hamish, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
But there is still a bit of an apprehensive sort of feeling from my people towards the Empire. That's not something you shake off overnight. When you're confronted with the reality of them beating your people, it's a bit disconcerting, to say the least.
She's sort of pondering the fact that you seem to have taken this as personal offense, given that Gerlach wasn't there. Like,
like from a different universe.
But,
entirely. Yeah.
But you're saying you blame a person who wasn't even involved just for existing?
How much do you know about the Empire?
How much do you know about Empire in this entire different existence, Tiernan? It could be completely different vibe.
I was going to say, I've been to where he's from, so...
What was it like?
Different. I don't know, I met a lady who I thought was going to kill me, and then she didn't because I was nice and honest. So I don't really understand how that place works. If everyone assumes they're all lying all the time. I find that confusing.
Who said they were lying?
Well, she assumed I was lying about what had happened and why I was there. So that's what I mean. It's just personal experience, Tiernan, that's... She assumed that I was gonna lie, and she tried to get into my head and make me tell the truth when I do that anyway, and all she had to do was ask.
What did you tell her you were there for? The reason that you were there?
I told her I didn't know why I was there, because I didn't.
Would you say it was a positive? Did you experience a positive interaction with
I didn't die, and she was nice enough once she realized I wasn't gonna lie or hide stuff from her. And
that's a bit concerning that the benchmark is I didn't die.
You try being bumped into a place that you don't know where you are, and then all of a sudden you're dealing with someone who does absolutely want to hurt you.
No,
and
I'm not criticizing, but like I'm saying,
getting hurt and not dying is pretty high on my priority list.
I said that was the benchmark, but once again, I explained that I don't have a lot of high opinion for the Empire people. It seems to be that you are in agreement with my same statement from people from another reality.
I don't think it would have mattered whether they were from the Empire or from Riverview in an alternate reality. I think I still would have been freaked out by the fact that I was in an alternate reality, and the idea of not dying kind of wins there, especially given our recent experiences for Miera and Delgrim with the whole dying in their dreams thing.
I'm
She's
not
very
ready.
much just like, I don't understand.
I'm
Like,
not ready to talk
duh.
about that yet. Thank you.
No,
No, I don't.
that's fine. I didn't mean to. Sorry. But I just don't really understand why you'd be mad at someone who wasn't even there or
I feel
part
like
of
it's
it.
I feel like it's kind of like, with the rivalry that you told us about between Riverview and is it Mountain View? Mount View? And how you've got that rivalry. So you're from
Yeah, but that's
your
just
one
like,
place and
well,
you don't like the
that's-
other
that's
people
just
because
sports.
they beat you
That's
at
actually quite a
sports
very
school.
good. That's quite a very
That's
good
just
example,
sport.
Miera.
But like, I don't hate everyone from Mountain View.
No, but
No,
that's
but
like-
imagine
they're
if
not
they
your
tried to invade
besties.
your town.
Yeah, you don't like them so much just because of where they come from.
I know them because they're from the next town over.
But
You're
you don't-
talking
do you
about
know
someone from another
absolutely
reality. That's what I don't
everyone?
understand.
Do you know
It's-
absolutely everyone? Because
But
you could still be like, oh, that person, don't know them, but they're from Mountain View. So they must be like,
But if I don't know them, then I don't know they're from Mountain View.
they'd be wearing like a sports colours, the sports jacket. You'd
Let-
know
let-
them,
let-
okay?
Little
They're
button
carrying
Let
that
me
says,
sum
"I
it up.
love
symbol.
Mountain View."
First off,
I feel like,
I'm not
Mary, you're
mad.
deliberately trying to stretch this in a way that's like, my point is that like he wasn't there. He's explicitly, clearly not from there because he's bamfed in and there's an alternate reality thing going on. You still hate him just because he's from some alternate reality version of a place that you don't much like.
I don't think
First
you're
off-
saying
when I say
hate,
you hate.
First off,
Tiernan. I
first
don't
off,
think you're saying hate.
I didn't say I hated him. I didn't say I was mad. But I'm going to be incredibly cautious of any individual who comes from the Empire who successfully enslaved my people in another reality. Regardless.
What happened, Tiernan, to their people in this reality?
We bugged out.
What this mean?
Well, they tried to invade us. When they got to us, we had advanced enough that we basically picked ourselves up and left the entire section of land included. That's why Kafar Baal is consistently moving.
Is this what you mean when you say Kata Bal is mobile place?
Oh yes. It moves around in like a circulish pattern around 7 Peldorn. It doesn't stay in one place.
Yeah, I think we gathered this from things you have told us before. Yes.
Okay, well imagine the impertinence that an entire people are prepared to take the land that they live on and pick it up and leave to get out of the way. Just imagine the drive. Imagine, for lack of a better word, the fear that it requires you to do that. We were in fear of our lives, of our culture, of our entire being from being completely annihilated by this great empire of the north.
Did this great empire pursue you when you lifted this place in whatever way and made it mobile?
They were incapable. This is a century ago. Any sort of new ties with the empire, I'm not really privy to, but let's just say that it's hypothetically, if I was to establish contact with the empire, just out of the blue, I would be generally considered a traitor amongst my people.
This all seemed very much like a problem with your people, not necessarily a problem with Empire. If they have not pursued your people after you have left this place from which you felt so scared was going to be invaded.
Once burnt, twice shy, Delgrim.
But you're not burnt.
We
They-
had
they
to
were forced
physically
to leave,
forced
right?
to move, so we wouldn't be burnt.
It's choice to move, is not?
I would be very upset if someone came and made my family and all of my friends move from
I
Sparkletown
don't know,
or leave.
and also would I be and have been, but I do not know circumstances of war itself.
Well, when you boil it down, it was either become part of the Empire through war and devastation, or make the hard choice to leave the land to which you had ties with. We were just fortunate enough that our technology allowed us to take part of the land with us, to make it so that there was no reason to invade. There was no reason to take us, absorb us into the Empire.
It does seem fortunate circumstance. I feel like...
Well, it was a lot of work. It didn't happen overnight, and it...
How does this happen? How does one move entire land?
You guys wonder how I'm able to achieve what I can do, and gestures towards his pistol.
You are very intelligent men who make fancy machine. Yes?
Well, yes. Now imagine 1,000 of us. What sort of machine can we create? That is Karfalabar.
My experience, it depends on how argumentative 1,000 intelligent men happen to be.
Well, when you're all geared to the one goal, with a certain level of imperative pressure on you, generally can get what stuff done without too much bureaucracy. We keep to ourselves. We don't want to get involved in war. We don't want to. So we keep moving.
In any case, my point was we probably would have all died had Gerlach not been there at the time in Swamp.
True.
And
True. I'm just cautiously optimistic about him. That's all.
I hope so. Again, there's obviously tension, but maybe if Gerlach does appear again and Rowan, make no mistake, I do not wish for you to bamf to another realm of existence again. Do not wish that at all. But if that does happen, or if we meet Gerlach in this reality, maybe just give them chance, Tiernan, to be better than you expect them to be.
I will try.
So you continue heading back towards Barleyburg. It is about probably 2.5, probably closer to 3 days travel. It takes a little bit of effort to get the lift working again. It's old, it's dilapidated. No sign of the griffins which you originally fought on your way up here. This time you skirt around the swamp, following what appears to be like a very old goat trail that skirts at the outskirts, taking you close to a small wooded area which you were told was called simply the Old Woods. The weather has definitely taken a turn. By the end of the first day, you're all soaked to the skin. It's just that persistent drizzle. It's not heavy rain. It's just that oppressive, constant. And you're able to find a little bit of shelter under some trees as you set up camp. But it's still a miserable night. And the next 2 days aren't a whole lot better. By the time you get close to the outskirts of Barleyburg, you've all got chills. You're probably a bit snuffly. I imagine potentially moods would be impacted by just the sort of the miserable trek that you guys have been on through this weather. But again, you do see the outskirts of the small town of Barleyburg, which you recall was quite a nice, not big, but a very well set up small establishment. You would get there sort of late afternoon of that third day, and would be able to very easily head towards the inn that you had originally stayed in, if you wish,
Wasn't
which
this
was
the
called.
place with pie?
Sorry,
Wasn't this the place with the pie?
the pie.
Be more
Oh.
specific.
I was like, Greenfield's had good pie.
Greenfield's
I know
had
because my
good-
pie got
I
left in a
lost my
pub
campaign notebook.
somewhere.
This was
And
the
you
place.
may be thinking about the person that I
I recall the fish,
Don't
the food being
stop.
good. No, I do recall the person you tried to dope up.
think that was here.
That was on the outskirts
The
of
outskirts.
What's her name?
Yeah.
Sad Sack Sally or something.
Sad Sack Sally. Look, that you get inspiration for that. It wasn't Sad Sack.
Wow.
No. It wasn't Sad Sack Sally. Her name was actually Misfortune May.
Actually,
So
that is
look, you are
really
look
good.
so fucking close. I'll give you inspiration for that because it's beautiful.
Well
Thank
done.
you.
Marvelous.
But you stop in at let's see.
Fish pie was Greenfield's, I think,
Yeah.
or like back
Mhm.
that way, because that's the one that I've got one of in my gear that got left in Greenfield's or wherever.
Oh.
So there
It's
is
gonna
a
be mighty
pie
ripe.
in my bag.
I wouldn't recommend eating it. No.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
So you're able to secure like a room, dry accommodation for the night here before the next day would roll around. And which direction are you guys heading in from here? Are you heading north, or you're looking for a place to send stuff, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, as
and
the guild
then
ascending. We'd probably ask the innkeeper where's the nearest guild ascending. Is it?
Well, I feel like we'd used
Mm.
one here when
Yeah,
we were here
I feel
last. Yeah.
we-
Anyway,
I'm pretty sure I sent a letter.
So you were able. So Millicent was the owner of the establishment here, and yeah, there's not an official guild of sending, but she would be able to secure a letter being sent west. She said, "Oh, look, we'll probably need to go through Harrow and then go from there." But are you also wanting to send money as well? Are you?
That
we
definitely
wouldn't tell
wasn't.
the innkeeper that, but we'd tell them we want to send a parcel.
Okay.
Tina going to send money to Greenfield?
I thought we were going to send like a precious gem or something that would.
Do you
cover-
have a precious gem or something?
Didn't we find a whole bunch of gems?
It's your character sheets. It's not my
Yeah.
responsibility to track your money.
I feel like Miera had a bunch of gems, but I don't know how willing.
Well, hold up.
She's
Is there a
give 'em
guild
up.
ascending
I
here? or
don't-
not?
I don't recall getting gems.
Is there a guild ascending here?
No, there is not
No.
a guild ascending
No.
here. You are able to send. So Millicent would be able to secure the sending of a letter from here, but there is not an official guild of sending office.
Yeah. So Delgrim, with Grumpfel's assistance, will essentially do duplicate letters of introduction for Sferzina and Greenfields, introducing the leaders of those communities to each other, both with essentially a draft copy of like a mining stake contract for each of the parties to join. And Delgrim will go around to the party and ask each of you all individually to sign on this draft contract as well.
It's a pity we don't have the ability to contact them directly.
That is what we're doing. Is this not what
by,
letters are
like,
for?
arcane means.
I mean, I could send a message, but it's very short. Like it
Okay.
wouldn't explain. I could tell them there's a package coming.
That would certainly ease their minds, would it not?
But also, I think, do I have to know the person?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I could communicate with Greenfield's people, but I couldn't communicate with Grumpfel's people.
That's all right. We just need to let Wex know that help is coming in the form of a parcel.
Well,
How much did they owe? Did we remember?
No, we never found out. It was never planned to pay just the amount, I guess. The idea was to make Greenfield self-sustainable with stake in gem mine. Gem mine not turn out to be exactly what we thought it is, but it's still workable.
Okay.
So I will send a message to Wex.
Well, how much are we putting in the parcel first? We're not putting
How
money.
much are you putting in the parcel?
Mm.
150 gold.
It's very generous of you, Tiernan.
Promise is a promise.
I will also put in. Let's go on. I'll put in 150 as well.
Okay. All right. So that's 300 gold. Yep. Anyone else putting any money in?
I'm not giving any gold to this person to take to anywhere. It make it so much more likely that people are attacked on the road while transporting important letters of plans for mine.
Oh, could we leave it here for them to collect on their way through?
They may need, well, I assume Grumpfel's people are familiar with equipment required for such mining activities and bring their own. This reason we cannot get crystal is because it needs special tools, yes.
Do they do bank checks?
What
We're going to a
you're
bank?
gonna bake the gold into the into a cake?
Bank.
Okay.
Oh, bank. Okay.
Bank checks.
A bake. What? Okay. So what I'm hearing at this point in time is that you are sending a letter
Just
with an agreement, like a signed document with. And is everybody happy to sign this document?
Yeah, Tiernan.
Yep.
I don't remember Rowan necessarily being party to the we're going to save Greenfields thing, but if everyone else is signing it, she will initial it, but not like.
But this is to say you also have a stake in the mine. So I mean,
That's
you
why she'll
don't
initial
have to
it.
sign it.
No,
But...
that's why she'll initial it, but she's not.
You would.
No, like as I said, she'll initial it. She's not going to sign it. Like
you got to sign
there's
it
a
all the
reason.
way because then you're part of the mining.
How do you
company.
know that that's not her signature?
Yeah, that's acceptable.
Yeah, that's
It's
fine.
her making her mark. Her mark and initialism counts as
long
making
as
a
it's
mark
not
on his
an
contract.
S.
I'd just like to point out Tiernan's signature is massive.
Yeah.
When he's done it, it's like this
Absolutely.
full-blown thing all across the paper.
Little curvy T.
Yeah,
I would expect nothing less. That is absolutely tracks.
well,
I love that.
Delgrim, you did make an interesting point. If we send money in the parcel, they might actually pinch it. Are bandits that regular? We haven't encountered any.
Millicent would better tell you that. I mean, they're not super common in this part. The roads, especially heading west, because it heads past one of the forts. That there's not generally a lot of bandits on the road. And recently there's been a few more patrols out. Anyway, so sending money is probably pretty safe. Now she can't guarantee anything. She can't guarantee anything full stop. But of course, once it leaves the borders of Kingsvale, she's like, I don't know. It depends on what's happening within Alamar at the time. Once it leaves our borders, I have no idea.
Sorry to interrupt. I have 7 sapphires.
Sapphires worth much?
Hey, DM, a sapphire worth much?
Oh, I would need to remember where the frig you got 7 sapphires from.
we found them we found some. Grumpfel found the dark green terralite, and then Tiernan and Miera found 2 rough gems that were
And you
sapphires,
found
and then
something.
5 other gems that were also sapphires.
Well,
Right, and that was in the mines.
Yes.
well, the stones would probably weigh a lot less than any cash, and it'd be less obvious in a parcel. Would it be safer to send the gems, Mira? If you're fine with
Yes.
it, you know.
I also have some unbaked cookie dough in my bag, so we could stick the gems in the cookie dough so that if anyone opened it, it would
Someone's
just
gonna
look like
break that.
cookie.
And you can send the message to say it's in the cookie dough.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
That'll work.
yeah. Let's do that.
Okay, we'll do that.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to stick all of the gems into the cookie dough, cookie
Yes.
dough into a package instead. Okay, excellent. Love it. I will ascertain how much those gemstones are.
It'll be terrible if
Thinking
it's,
through
it's
stuff.
like 5 of a piece of gems.
Wow. Okay.
Or,
All right.
could I evaluate them?
Sorry?
Could I evaluate them with a jeweler's tools?
They're valuable. I'm not going to dig through stuff at
Okay.
this point in time. You know, I'm not going to have you send off, oh, look, you've just sent off 20,000 gold pieces worth of gems. But I'm also not going to say they're like 2 gold pieces each or anything sucky like that. But I'm also not going to spend a bunch of time trying to work it all out now.
Okay.
So you guys put together a package with these gemstones. You attach letters requesting that some of them go south towards Esmerdanna, and then others go west towards Greenfield.
Mm-hmm.
Miera, were you doing the sending thing?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So I have 25 words or less. So,
Okay.
hi Wex, it's Miera. Great success. Found mine. Sending letter. Cookie dough contains sapphires. Don't eat. Contact back if you want. Hope you're well. That's it.
Do you want to use your last word? You got 1 word left.
Bye.
Cookies!
Bye.
Yeah,
There
fine.
you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
You do not get a response.
He's dead. Fuck.
He's dead.
Shit. Fuck.
Could be on the toilet for all we know.
But he can respond anytime. He doesn't. Okay.
Okay.
Can I send
Is
another?
this going to be a jester situation? Are you pooping?
Can I send another message?
If you got the spell slots.
Yeah. Okay. I can send one more.
Are these done out loud? Or is it in your head?
Oh, I'd say it out loud so you can hear what I'm saying.
Okay.
Just trying to think who else in the town I could contact.
Then one to Perrin. Sucks to be you.
My choices are Priscilla.
I don't remember Priscilla.
Who
Is she the old lady?
no. How'd you hit, love?
Oh my
No, I
God.
think she was the priestess that was working with Wex.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Cass is reaching into the deep lore here.
Yeah.
Or we potentially reach out to Ori to see if she's made it to Greenfields.
That's a good idea. I would like to know if Ori did make it safely.
All right, so I will use my last 3rd level spell.
Jesus.
This is where I'm going to then attack you guys here.
That's what happens when you don't trust the postal system to do its job.
Wow.
Oh no, it's giving
Yeah,
them advance
Australia.
notice.
All right,
Okay.
here we go.
Okay, come on, Cats.
Counting.
Okay. Hi, Ori. Did you safely arrive in Greenfield? We have been trying to contact Wex. Do you know them? What's happening? Bye. How many more words have we got? Three.
You can respond.
You can respond.
Cool.
That might have been the fundamental thing missed from the first message.
Yep.
Didn't I say that?
Nope.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a brief pause, and you get a response.
Do you need me to count this for you, Ham?
Sure. Oh, Miera, this is really strange. How are you talking in my head? That's okay. Yes, I did actually get to Greenfield. And it's really nice here. The people are very, very lovely.
Done.
At first, I had a cup of tea, and then it was a lovely.
And you know what? I
scone.
didn't mention the fucking cookie dough.
It's fine.
Crap. Oh well.
Well, you let
Delgrim
Wex know.
takes business enterprises, which he has no personal interest in, but a fairly deep understanding of in this context, very seriously. The letters that were sent to these prospective stakeholders of this mine are incredibly detailed, with very explicit instructions explaining how both parties will need to send representatives to, where's the place we are now?
Barleyberg.
Yes, to Barleyberg, where they will receive directions to the mine itself and some recommendations on how to proceed. As long as they get to their destinations, nothing can possibly go wrong.
I will at some point send another message about the cookie dough before the letters arrive so they don't eat them. Not that it would be a problem if they ate them, because they would eventually resurface.
Who would eat cookie dough that's been in their mouth?
Yeah, no, that's yeah.
That would be great.
Depends how hungry you are.
Yeah.
So with
They're called Greenfields. I think they're plentiful of food.
with that, you all probably this has been the evening's entertainment. Retire to your respective rooms for an evening's sleep. There's no other patrons at the at this particular establishment this evening. It seems to be very, very quiet. There are a few sort of locals down in the main room just until you sort of retired. It's warm, it's dry. This is probably the most comfortable sleep you've had in a long time. Rowan, you're getting ready for bed. And the stone just feels sort of really, it feels a bit disconnected. Like it feels really, this is going to sound weird, it feels really stony. Like,
yeah, it doesn't feel like it normally does. It feels like a rock, as opposed
it feels
to
like a rock
with little tiny eyeballs.
It feels like a rock rather than the rock.
The rock.
It's a little bit sort of disconcerting. So you go about getting organized, doing your normal, whatever your routine, whatever Rowan's routines are when she goes to bed.
Yep.
And you kind of get like a sinking feeling in the pit of your stomach. Almost like, you know, when you take a step off a top stair and you miss the next step?
Yep.
And there's that sense of, oh, you get that sense. And you actually feel yourself tumble forward. And for a moment, the room is gone.
Mm-hmm.
And everything is gone. And you tumble end over end into this darkness. And as you tumble through this space, for the briefest of moments, off in the distance, you see what appears to be it almost looks like a snow globe. And there's something inside it. It's hard to see because you're kind of tumbling end over end. You think for the briefest of moments you can see what looks like buildings, maybe, hard to tell. And the next thing you know, you're face first in the dirt. But this is dirt that you're familiar with. And as you glance up and look around, you see the familiar buildings of Riverview. And that is where we're going to end the session for the night.
What? Is that a Banff? Is that a what?
Is it real Riverview or is it alternate Riverview?
Alternate Riverview? Is it a Banff? Is it something else? What is that? God damn it. Incredible. Okay.
Rowan goes to meet alternate dad.
Superior dad.
Alternate dad.
Dad in it?
Da.
Alter dad.
Da wants me to head out in the world and get as injured as I possibly can in this universe.
Do
In this
not
universe, his name is
protect her
Dada.
at all costs.
Dad and Ma won't let me leave Riverview in this universe.
Yeah. She's actually chained up in their basement.
Whoa.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, that went a bit dark. Hey, cool. Hey, like always, let's do a quick rough round of people's favorite moments. Reflect on this evening.
Can I pick Hamish channeling Cabatayan? Just being Heath.
This was pretty good.
I felt him in my soul. I'm just like,
Yeah.
Some of the sayings you were coming out with, mate, were spot on.
Yeah.
one of them is actually my favorite quote. But it did feel a bit. It felt very appropriate for a Grumpfel thing. So.
Yeah, spot
Cool.
on.
What about other people?
I'll throw two in the mix. Just general overall lore dumpage, and not just from Hamish, but I think we managed to pull a heap out of Tiernan in that as well, which was super cool.
That was very spontaneous. Spontaneous?
That was
Spontaneous?
Spontaneous.
Yeah, spontaneous. Like, you know, the words.
It's like suspiciously hairless.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
right. Spontaneously hairless. And also 65 points of psychic damage, you fucking psychopath.
Yeah, that was nuts, mate.
Literal psych.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
that was incredible.
Yeah. Thank you. Cool. Awesome.
The most casual Delgrim death, yeah. The most casual death of everyone.
Yeah. I'm going to jump in here because I always end up kind of going last, which I don't want to this time. I enjoy watching and seeing what Cass does when I throw into the middle of that kind of dream stuff. And I appreciate that, Cass, you really kind of lean into it, which is super fun from a DM point of view and is greatly appreciated. I also must have a bit of fun trying to channel my inner Grumpfel, so that was always good fun too. John, what about you, sir?
Apparently she thirsts over Delgrim. Is what happens
Oh,
when she's thrust into that
maybe.
scenario.
I wish we had fan art. I would love like a thirst picture of Delgrim like shirt
Don't
off.
tempt the chat.
Yeah.
No.
I'm not saying
Hey, chat.
Miera is
Yeah, do
thinking
we have
that
any
these are
artists
thirst
amongst us?
traps. I'm just
So-
saying there have been consistently in the last few episodes a few Delgrim themed thirst traps that I haven't put there. I'm looking squarely at the DM at this point.
What have I done?
Yeah,
What
that's
have-
fair.
Maybe the DM is the one that thirsts.
For Delgrim.
Look, I know a good-looking dwarf when I see one. It's fun.
When you can see him from underneath his hat.
Yeah.
True. The Return of the Hat. We also have
Return of the Hat.
Yeah,
Dun, dun,
that
dun.
I was gonna say that's probably one of the ones I liked was the Return of the Hat, and then just the channeling the Grumpfel.
Return of the Hat just to shitmouth Abrasaur too. It's not required in the cave or the place.
He was terribly rude to you though.
Terrible.
Really was.
Terrible. John, sir, what about you?
It's a hard one tonight. I do thoroughly enjoy when those sort of dream state sort of scenarios happen. I love it as a GM. I love it as a player. So I just enjoyed just listening to the two characters as they waded through the empty space of the dark. The other one I sort of enjoyed was just when the group tries, we've sort of reached an end to this particular story arc, and us try to muddle our way into what we're supposed to be driving towards next. And I'm sort of like on the fence about where we're going and so forth, in the sense of it's like, fuck, Greenfields is all the way over there. I don't want to trudge 2 weeks to the west. So hopefully everything goes all right there, and we don't just hear about it
Just
later.
mailed it in. Yeah. I guess it depends on how terrible your DM is.
Oh, just send him a letter. God.
Just
The-
don't all die while I'm not there, or I'll come back in like 4 weeks and be like, what?
Yeah.
Wait. Huh?
What happened? Yeah. Yeah. Hey,
You may have started an entirely new civil war by the time you get back.
Well,
Well,
look, yeah.
He
Not
did
just a
say
civil
the-
war, it's a civil war.
He
God.
did say the letters have to go through Harrow, and my immediate thought was, fuck's sake.
So, hey, I'm gonna
Damn
be.
Aloysius.
I don't know if this is gonna work, but like the almighty voice of Saz who lurks in the background and does all the awesome stuff. What was your favorite part?
Whoa.
Can we
Oh,
get
no.
your
Breaking
voice
the fourth
echoing
wall.
through here?
Well, hold
Bold
up.
move.
Is it the favorite part of this episode, or is it the favorite part of the entire book?
Oh, just favorite. I mean, look, if we wanted to, we could do the Hellbig reflection and go, what's been the favorite part of sort of everything up until now? But it's up to you guys.
As this perspective, I feel like it'd be knowing all of the dumb shit that you've got planned. While
Yeah.
we run around like the Keystone cops going.
I have lost track of the number of times I've said something to Saz about the campaign and what I'm thinking Tiernan's thinking, and she just turns and looks at me with this evil grin on her face, this all-knowing evil grin. I'm like, don't do that.
Yeah, don't know stuff.
Yeah, it's cool. It's fun. It's
Incredible.
great. It's one of the biggest things. Anyone who's ever run a game of anything ever, I think, feels the pain of having ideas and not having someone to tell it to.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I'm so proud of this really terrible thing I'm going to do, and I can't tell my players because they need to play it. They need to tell
Eternal
someone. I
GM
need to,
struggle, mate.
yeah. Cool. All right. Is there anything else we want to throw there in the universe? Apparently Saz is all about the excessive damage as well.
Mm.
It's the cotton socks.
Yeah. Something about next Friday night, John, that you might be being prompted to talk about
Am I being
by a
messaged?
certain person that you're getting messaged
Probably.
to. I mean, I can
probably.
do it, but it is your
No,
it is
it's all good.
specifically for you.
Just wanted to a friendly reminder to everybody that it fell out back. It's a special guest episode, so the GM is essentially the GM's also passing the role over, is he not? Yes. In a very startling move, so it will be all guest players, including a guest GM, where they're going to influence the world in a crazy way, I can imagine. See Piggles? I don't.
That's not part of the message. That's
No.
Yeah, no, that's something.
Yeah,
That's something
no,
different,
okay.
John. Abort.
You've reached.
Just stop.
Abort,
We
Stop.
need the
Stop.
telegram. End of message.
Full stop.
Should have
Yeah.
should have given us a 25 word count, Saz. It would have been fine.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What was it? But that's
I
next.
was-
That's next Friday, and it's
It's-
also
it's a good
part
thing
of
you-
the charity for the month of May.
It's a good thing you didn't read the next sentence, which is if he's alive for the next few minutes, because that would have just made us all sound like a bunch of absolute weirdos. So
Yeah.
Anyway,
Roll
last
a
couple of
d10 for
hours
how
has
weird he would've
65
sounded, yeah.
damage.
yeah, yeah. No, absolutely. Go and check it out next Friday. It'll be knowing who's lurking and who's involved. It's going to be crazy fun and just crazy. But I do believe we're going to raid out to Brain Beast. Is that correct?
Correct. We're going to
So,
read out
yeah,
to
Brain Beast
Brain Beast Studios, aka Sean Sunday. Sean has a seat on the table on the Lawrights channel on Sunday. As
Oh,
one of
that
the
poor guy.
players. That's right. As one of the players in our little Call of Cthulhu jaunt over there, part 2 of probably 2. They've also got a Kickstarter coming up soon-ish. So I'm sure if you stick around and chat, have a little chatter, you'll learn all about it. Some cool comic stuff.
Cool.
Levers are ready to be pulled.
Yep.
I hope.
Says
everyone
is
has a
the
wonderful
master
evening.
lever puller.
I swear, every time we get to this stage of the show, all I can think of is Wayne's World and go doodle-doo, doodle-doo.
Yeah.
Oh, you
It's
do
the
that when
best.
my brain just goes, wrong lever.
Yeah.
I'm a 90s kid, what can I say?
Hey, thanks very much, everyone, for hanging out with us tonight. Have an awesome weekend.
Especially you.
And you.
Yeah, you.
No, not you. You.
No,
The other you.
You're
Yeah,
the,
you.
it's you.
the one behind you.
Yeah.
You. Yeah,
The
you.
short one.
The one that's
But
not
this
in you.
was the
yeah,
end
you.
of book 1, was it not, Hamish?
Yeah, I mean, effectively. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe we need to have like an in the shadows and reflect back on the entire thing. We can get that organized. What a novel
Yes,
concept.
you. Yes, you are with a hydrate to send us out. There you go.
Don't
Aw.
have any to hydrate.
I know.
Hey, thanks very much, everyone.
See
Go and
ya.
hang out with Sean. He's cool.